Hey favorite people, MK here, and today we are doing something a little bit different. I recorded about half of this episode with audio, and then somewhere in the middle there, my mic turned itself off or did something crazy like that, and I listened to the audio that I had, and it just well, the audio quality wasn't that great, so we are just starting with a completely clean slate here on the Manor Let's Build. And yeah, I've never done this before, talking while just watching the footage that I did, so it's experimental. We will see how it goes. I really do love how this Manor is coming along. It's different from all the other builds that I've done. It's very Victorian. I haven't done anything else with a Victorian flair to it, a flavor. Anyways, I don't really want to talk about the build today because there is just a whole lot of stuff going on in my life. Basically, everybody that I know, their body is trying to kill them. I found out last night that my grandfather has cancer, and it's weird. I think I might be in some kind of denial because it's like I don't know. It hasn't hit me yet. And I have this whole like, oh, he's gonna be totally fine. He's gonna be totally fine feeling about it. And so I don't know if that's just because he's the best fighter that I have ever known, and I know that he's gonna kick cancer's ass, or if it's because I'm not really processing it yet. But cancer, that's a thing. So yeah, my grandfather has cancer. Saying that out loud is okay. We're just gonna move on because saying it out loud may have just kind of processed some things that I don't really feel like processing right now. And then my mother, she has an autoimmune disorder with some really, really crazy long names. I might rattle them off just so that I can impress you with my medical lingo. Yeah, why not? She has idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura and antiphospholipid antibody syndrome. And then she was just recently diagnosed today, diagnosed with a couple other things. Basically, it's an autoimmune disorder where, her body just attacks itself. Specifically, at times in her life, her body has destroyed her platelets, which is your blood's clotting agent. So if you get a small cut, or if you get a bloody nose or something like that, it's the platelets that come in and patch it up and help the blood to start clotting. And basically, for many years, her body destroyed its own platelets, and so she had this bleeding disorder where basically the concern was that she could just kind of have a stroke at any time. If her blood got too thin and she didn't have any clotting agents, any type of bleed or bruise, could lead to something horrific. But that's not what's going on right now. What's happening right now is her antiphospholipid antibody syndrome is flaring up and causing her blood to clot rather than be too thin. And gosh, I don't know if this is way too technical to be talking about on YouTube as I'm sitting here watching myself build a manor. I don't know. But basically, she has a blood clot. And when she went to see her hematologist, well, technically he's a cancer doctor, but she doesn't have cancer. She has other stuff. He was a doctor who treated her during her last kind of flare-up of her disease. Basically, she has to be on a blood... Sorry, Hobbs is chewing on my cords. Don't chew on my cords. Don't chew on my cords, Fluffy. Fluffy, 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 Fluffy. Because now, at this point in her life, she's had 2 blood clots, and the fact that she's had 2 raises her possibility of basically, she has a 50% chance of getting another one at this point in her life. And I work in medicine. I'm in hospital administration, and we have this one patient who is just really, really great, but she had multiple blood clots, and it just started to become a chronic thing in this one leg. And she had her leg amputated. And I'm just like, I don't... Hobbs, could you not bump my mic? You're a very sweet cat. Are you just trying to comfort me? Can you tell I'm upset? Oh, you're being so cute right now. Such a sweet boy. I don't want my mom to have her leg amputated. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if this is stuff I should be sharing with you guys. I don't know if this is stuff you guys want to hear, but everybody's dying. Not really. No. Everybody is going to be fine. Everybody's going to be all right. My family is full of fighters. We don't give up. I mean, I don't know if you guys, you in particular, I'm talking to you who's watching this video right now. I don't know if you have seen the video where I talk about my heart defect, but I was a fighter. I got cured. It ain't no thing. No heart defect can get me down. And yeah, it's a family of fighters. But it's kind of scary at the same time. So anyways, what I'm doing in the build right now, let's change pace for a second here. What I'm doing in the build is adding a whole lot of detail to just continue to add more texture, more layers, more depth. One of my favorite things for doing this is cobblestone walls, because you can place them in corners and they just add the way the blocks attach, the way the cobblestone walls attach to just other blocks is really cool. Just you see that there, kind of how that, yeah, I don't know if we'll get a good look. Okay, do you see there how it kind of juts out to attach to the wall? I love just how that looks. And when you place them in corners, they attach to both. There it is. See how much texture and how that it gives that wall more angles, more depth, helps it look less blocky. Cobblestone walls are absolutely fantastic for that. If you don't currently use them in all of your builds, start doing it. Start doing it now. It's my professional recommendation. Yeah. And then they make really great torch holders too. They make torches look intentional. See, like right there, how I've placed them on top of the cobblestone walls. It makes it look like you didn't just throw some torches there willy-nilly. It gives it a base, gives it a setting, a purpose. Oh man. So now we're just finishing off some little things of the facade that we just hadn't really gotten around to. And then pretty shortly here, we're going to go work more. We're going to add another gable. I don't know if that's the right word. We're going to add another section of the roof. And we're going to work on some back wall details in just a little bit here. But I don't know exactly how soon. So we are going to switch back to talking about other things. So my mom right now with this blood clot, she's having to give herself these injections in her stomach every day. Like, I'm such a wuss about needles. I can't imagine giving myself my own shots. Like, seriously, no, thank you. Do not want. I seriously, the idea, giving yourself a shot is not necessarily the worst part. It's just like that, getting over the don't poke yourself with a giant needle instinct, that survival, that self-preservation, that no, don't stab yourself instinct. I honestly don't know if I could get past that in order to give myself an injection, you know? Okay, so here we're playing around with this door, seeing if we can make it look a little less blocky and a little less flat, but I wasn't able to find something that I liked. I like this design, but it seemed a little too modern for the Manor build, so we're just kind of experimenting now, seeing if we can find a different thing. Okay, I gotta take my earrings out here. Starting to bother my ears, and they're kind of like large, dangly, shiny things. I was just out on the town with my brother and a couple of friends from out of town while Sigils was scrimming, and that was fun. But now it is very late. It's sometime after midnight. It's been a really long day. I had an early work meeting. I had to be there at 6:45, and it was kind of so I work in medicine, right? And we found out yesterday something that is going to save the practice thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So it was kind of like an early morning meeting to go over a whole bunch of details and stuff about it, but it was also kind of a celebration. So like one of the doctors brought a waffle iron and was making waffles for everybody at like 6:30 in the morning. And whoa, don't fall asleep. Am I still recording? Still recording? Let's check. Okay, yeah. I'm only getting the audio, so I'm not like actually. Oh shoot. I have now gotten off from, yeah, I don't really know what's going to happen. I think my audio has gotten off from the build. So now I can't really talk very much about the build anymore because I have no idea how it's all going to sync up. But anyway, yeah, I either just pulled back to give you a look at the facade, or I'm about to just pull back to give you a look at the facade. Either way, it's I'm pleased with how it's starting to turn out. Let's see, what was I talking about? Yeah, I come from a family of fighters. People in my family do not keel over and die. They do not take death lying down. No. There's a lot of longevity in my family. People, yeah, we don't just kick the bucket. No. At least, my mother's side of the family has like that whole fighter attitude about it. We're Irish on her side, very, very red-blooded. We drink a lot and nobody dies ever. Seriously, on my mother's side of the family, the last death was my great-grandmother. She passed away maybe 5 years ago. No, it was longer, probably at least 10 years ago. Yeah, about 10 years ago, because I was probably 11 at her funeral, and nobody else in the family has died since. I still have all of my grandparents, my great aunts, great uncles, everybody is alive and kicking. The Irish do not die. And then on my father's side of the family, we're all Native American. And there's kind of a similar being one with the land and being healthy and outdoorsy and holistic and yada yada. So I'm probably going to live forever. Just saying. Either that or become an alcoholic. Or both. An alcoholic immortal. Oh boy, I've got all sorts of stuff to look forward to. But yeah, also my birthday is next week. This is so weird just watching myself build and not talking while building. It's actually, I've gotten into like a habit and a groove where recording while I'm playing, recording while I'm building has become really easy. And so now doing this totally new thing where I'm just talking at you is just weird. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if my mic has turned itself off. So I don't even know. Okay, we need to drink of water. Water. I have 2 cats. One of them is next to my monitor. One of them is behind. Hobbs and Houdini, living it up. Okay, so we're, I don't think we're going to do a lot of landscaping for this build, but I just want to open up the back lawn a little bit. Honestly, I kind of want to just get this build finished because for my creative stuff, I am building so much on the Koalacraft fan server that I kind of wouldn't mind capturing some of it, getting some of it on my channel, on film, because I'm putting a lot into that. And so I think instead of just doing random creative builds as I, get inspired, we're going to do kind of a server building series where I, basically there's a lot to do on that server. We need to build a gigantic nether hub, and we want to have multiple cities around the world, to feed into the economy, and kind of feed into the MMO experience of the server. So right now we have the spawn city, which is the floating islands. There's a hint of a steampunk flavor to it. Not really. We didn't really pursue that necessarily, but it showed up in a couple of the builds. And then we need to have a desert city. For example, in the desert city, the sand, things like sand, sandstone, all of those resources are going to be really cheap. And that's going to be the case for all the different cities. We're going to try to have multiple cities, lots of cities, and each one in a different biome. So yeah, that is the goal, and that basically means that I have enough building projects to last me for a year. So we're probably going to pick and choose what buildings and what cities of those will be the most interesting, and I'll probably do a little bit of that on camera. So I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be really fun, actually. I have really enjoyed kind of learning how to build over the past few months. I mean, it's my favorite thing about Minecraft is building and what you can do, what you can create architecturally with blocks. I mean, yeah, I don't know, I really really enjoy it. Like I said, it is my favorite part of Minecraft. But yeah, let's see here. How much longer do we have to this video? What else should we talk about? Yeah. Once upon a time, there was a little girl named MK whose mother was very sick, and she had a hard time talking about anything other than that. The end. So this roof, roofs are my roofs are my Achilles heel. For some reason, they get me every single time. When I was building the KoalaCraft main spawn city's nether portal castle thingy, I pretty much got the entire thing done, and then I was just like, oh crap, I have to put a roof on this thing. Maybe I should play The Sims. Roofs don't matter in Sims. Oh man. Oh, something I did forget to point out, which I had in my initial commentary, and then, when the commentary got scrapped, I did a little bit of off-camera work between this episode and the last episode, and that was mostly slapping a dome on the tower area. I don't know if I've shown it on camera recently. And then I also set up a staircase. Oh, there's Hobbs. I also set up a staircase from staircase from the second floor up to the third floor attic type area. Yes. And now what we're going to do is basically do a little bit of off-camera work. I don't know if I'm saying this too soon or too late. All I know is that my audio and my video are not getting quite synced up, because the video that I was talking in conjunction with paused when my computer started to fall asleep, but my vocal recording didn't pause. But anyways, so I briefly touched on my heart defect earlier. If you want to see more about that, I will link to the episode where I talk about it. That was from my first season of my single player Let's Play, and I think I was building a swimming pool while I was talking about it. Just totally innocuous little, innocuous. That's a good word. I like that word. Totally innocuous little landscaping type project, and talking about how I almost died. Well, no, I didn't. It was just a heart defect, Lots of people have heart defects and are totally fine, and I was one of them. Cheers to that. Man, I just, like, all these people around me are dealing with serious, serious health issues. One of my siblings is really, really sick. Gosh, I don't want to talk about this right now. I want to just be in denial, not think about it, and just move on. So who's going to Minecon? Minecon. Sigils and I are pretty sure that we're going to try to go. Personally, we're hoping for it to be on the West Coast again, because we could get really cheap plane tickets. We're up here in the Seattle area, and LA, so Anaheim, Disneyland, Vegas. Either of those destinations we could make it to really, really cheaply. If it's on the East Coast, those plane tickets would be a lot more expensive, but I wouldn't be totally averse to going to Florida. I like Florida. I've been to Disney World. I loved it. Disney World is awesome. Although I suppose at Minecon you wouldn't have time to actually check out the parks hardly at all. But I've seen it all. I've ridden all the rides. I've done all that. My sibling, who I was mentioning, who is sick, my sibling was very, very sick, and she got a Make-A-Wish granted to her, and her wish was to be able to experience Disney World with her family. And so Make-A-Wish flew my little sister and my entire family to Orlando, and we got to spend a week at Disney World. And like when you're there with Make-A-Wish, they give you these special, not backstage passes per se, but like special lanyards and things that make it so you don't have to wait in line, and you get to go through all these back entrances into different rides, and they just, I don't know, they really just pour on the love. I was really impressed. So, if you don't like Disney, or if, you have issues with this, that, or the other thing, you're entitled to that opinion. But my experience with the way Disney treats families that are going through something really hard was really amazing. The people that I dealt with and talked to were incredibly compassionate. So good on you, Disney. Nice work. I'm a fan. Yeah. Anyways, this episode is almost over, isn't it? Let me see here. Let's see. Let's zoom in. We are in our last minute or so, and I want to make sure I don't get too much extra commentary, so I'll probably just wrap up the commentary and then maybe fade it out to a little bit of music. So yeah, if you think of it, say a prayer for my grandfather, him and the cancer, and then my mom and her crazy autoimmune disease, which would cause her to drop dead from a stroke or drop dead from a blood clot to the lung. These are people that I love, and I want to keep them in my life if possible. So if you think of it, think of them. I appreciate it very much, very, very, very much. And I love you all. Getting to play on the KoalaCraft fan server, okay, I gotta talk like really fast, has been really great. Just seeing, getting to hang out with you guys, getting to play with you guys and kind of meet you, so to speak, has been really, really fantastic. So if you haven't hung out on there at all, I would love to meet you. Just go to KoalaCraft with 2 Ks, koalacraft.com, and there's the IP there, and come hang out with me. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Over and out.